bits. The first night, lay there watching the fire. As I booked the course a week and a half before I actually went, I hadn't had much time to prepare myself mentally, I suppose. So the first night, I knew there was a sleeping bag and a couple of cans of beans in this house, and I was about that close to going and getting them. Second night, I was actually laying in the same position looking at the fire and thinking that this is the most amazing thing I've ever done in my life.
How was the river crossing?
We went from about a foot high to about a foot and a half, 2.5 feet, then up to about maybe 3.5 feet, which I really enjoyed it.
Right, it was a good course, following on from the 5-day course, and basically picked up where we finished off with 5 days. Really got into the psychology of how you're going to feel if you just dumped in it with a minimal of kit. Obviously, that bad feeling when you go for your kit and you say, no, you can't have that, you can't have that, you can't have that, and you're sort of left with the basics, which in all honesty you would have. And then it gets, obviously, you're straight into the scenario, straight into dealing with the situation, psychology that comes with that. But after that, then, you know, it's those first few hours of trying to get organised, trying to stick to the acronym plan, and sometimes forgetting to do that. We didn't really do enough with the signalling, and the fact that we were all camouflage wasn't helping either. And so, you know, we needed to work on that a bit more. Generally very good in terms of getting used to that idea of trying to prioritise and keep on top of things. Yeah, so it's a good course in terms of giving you that real sense of feeling of trying to survive with minimal support, and then obviously the instruction where you needed it. So in other words, where you were going wrong, where you weren't focusing enough, in comes the instruction to show you where you need to correct it. So all in all, good course. Definitely would recommend it to anyone else, but definitely recommend doing the 5-day course first. I think the hardest thing was having the plan and sticking to it. And I think that was because it was easy to drift off. What am I doing next? And so that was quite hard, sticking to the plan. The lack of food and really keeping the hydration up, and it's amazing how quickly you just get so tired. And so you think, great, I'll just go up the top of that hill. It's not just going up the top of the hill. Once you're up there, you then have to recover, and that was hard. And when combine that fatigue with trying to stick to the plan, then it became really hard to not to drift off and do things that you didn't need to do or waste energy.
Okay, most enjoyable bit?
When we're in the shelter, especially when it's raining, in the shelter you're raining, you know, okay, so your shelter's going to drip a bit, but you're all wrapped up in your associated, the fire's going, you know you've got plenty of water, you know what you're going to do the next day, you've got your camp routine, and then obviously that's great, that's what it's all about. And then obviously the odd humorous bit as well.
What I didn't know what was going to happen is how hard Pestle reacts without the food and doing those activities through a longer period as opposed to the 5-day course. It certainly delivered that for me, the realism.
Coming away from this now, I'd be quite confident in being lost somewhere and being able to be found.